Alright. Oke, mulai guys ya. Kita main Genshin Impact lagi, cok. Alright, kita lanjut lagi, cok ya. Story ARCHON-nya chapter 2-nya nih. Mungkin bakal lama lagi nih gue streaming, bisa 4 jam lagi kah? Atau bisa lebih cepat? Oh, bisa lebih cepat, lebih bagus, cok ya. Oke, sebentar. Aku akan klaim hadiah dulu guys. Ini lumayan bagus nih. Kita ambil dulu. Rutin nih gue nih. Gue udah ambil belum ya? Oh belum kan? Sudah aku juga. Oke. Ini apa deh? Oke, kita main coy ya. Ini close aja. Kita ke menu biasa saja. Oke. Jadi gue udah selesain chapter satunya. Jadi gue chapter 2-nya ada rupanya di game ini. Jadi gue lanjutin lagi coy. Kayaknya chapter 3 tunggu versi baru deh ya. Update lagi nanti itu game kayaknya. Jadi kita lanjut dulu deh ya. Mungkin setelah update coy. Mungkin setelah story yang kedua ini, kalau gue streaming lagi mungkin gue explore doang sih ya ntar. Explore Fontaine, tapi update kali ini nggak terlalu gede sih buat eksploitasinya. Fokus story dulu nanti baru explore coy ya. Biar enak guys. Biasanya kalau langsung gas explore nanti ada item baru keluar biar mempergampang farming itu tuh. Gue pernah kejadian di Sumeru tuh. Sering banget. Nih, selesaian questnya baru enak mainnya. Seger. Wah, update-nya lama loh. Aku masih menunggu ini loh. Tenang, karena gue udah bakal lama mainnya. Gue udah sediain snack coy. Makanan favoritku coy. Makan ya. Tapi update-nya lama sekali nih. Walah, matilah. Bentar, aku setting ini dulu deh kalau gitu. Tutut. Bentar deh. Lagi update lama juga nih. Kan belum. Xbox wireless adapter con. Belum pasang driver sebenarnya nih. Driver nggak ada. Apa ya? Device manager. Kita periksa ini generic extensions Microsoft property. Ini benar nggak ya? Namanya apa ini? Lihat lagi namanya. Nggak bisa find anjir. Bentar ya, kita sembari update nih. Periksa dulu cuy. Namanya Microsoft. Apanya Microsoft? Kenapa generic USB hub ini? Tuh, aku nggak tahu ini namanya. Tuh, kita cek dulu deh. Of Windows. Sistem kali ya. Alexa, Fisher, Microsoft. Oh, X3. Mana ya? Kok nggak ada di sini? SCI enggak, bukan. Storage kamu nih ada nih. Microsoft Storage Space Controller. What is this? I don't know. Cek lagi satu persatu. Ada juga. Software and device. Ada juga proses. Mungkin ports. Kan juga coy. The device apa ini? Tahu. Mungkin Bluetooth kali ya. Oh alah di sini coy. Halo Sekdes. Lagi update nih. Belum selesai. Jalan tuh. Apa ya? Di home memang nih. Tunggulah. Bentar aku lagi oprek-oprek dulu coy. Ini driver gua nggak nemu nih. Gua baru pasang driver baru masanya nih. Nih dia. Dapat juga loh. Coy. Ini udah ada deh. Oke. Ada rupanya coy. Aman ya. 0 KB 1 detik. Ini 128 loh. Kenapa ya? Kenapa bisa begini nih? Penasaran juga gua. Apa karena sambil streaming juga ya? Ngebug jadinya nih. Kok aku bermasalah dong nih? Coba CMD dulu deh guys. Lancar streaming gua. Paling gua di post dulu streamingnya nih. Biar bisa dulu nih. 0 KB loh. Jalan-jalan coy. Waduh. Ini mah gue udah bisa makan. Gue bisa makan. Lu pernah main Poppy Playtime? Gak pernah. Nontonnya replaynya tuh ada. Udah lama itu. Gue dari zaman setahun yang lalu itu gue main. Nonton aja replaynya gak apa-apa. Gue ada chapter 1 sama chapter 2 nya kok. Chapter 2 nya agak lama. Chapter 1 nya agak cepet. Karena chapter 2 lebih panjang story ceritanya cuy. Main susah tuh. Oh, lama sekali ini update-nya. Padahal cuma 77 MB loh. Sepertinya aku harus ini dulu, guys. Apa ini? Remogem code? What? I don't know. Wah. Wah. Bentar guys, ada kode anjir. Rhythm. Genshin Rhythm coy, sebentar. Kita Rhythm dulu guys. Ini adanya nih. Mana ya? Apa gue post dulu ya? Biasa coy. Oh, haha. WS 84J S839 T8R. Nice. Dah selesai. Kata mob game combo Poppy Playtime chapter 3 nya rilis tahun ini bang. Wah mantep nih, gua main nih. Gua masih ada loh game ya. Bentar ya, Poppy Playtime tapi belum ada coming soon ya. Papi loh, salah. Tuh. Nah ini dia nih. Nah, gue udah punya tuh yang chapter 2 gue udah beli juga tuh. Chapter 3 nya yang nggak nongol. Nah tuh chapter 3 belum ada guys. Tunggulah ya. Gue streaming guys. Wah gue mau periksa wishlist dulu cuy. Uang gue ada 100 sebenarnya. Tapi nggak ada diskon. GTA game sampah coy ya. Jangan beli guys. Diskon aja. Diskon brutal guys. Ini lama sekali guys. Coba sebentar ya aku ini dulu setting. Gua streamingnya bentar dulu guys ya. Sebentar. Nih kayaknya ada problem guys ya. Nanti gua connect lagi kalau udah ini ya. Kayak ngebug ini. Oke. Coba sebentar ya. Sebentar. Bentar ya. Nggak lama. Gua stop streaming dulu. Gua pause dulu cuy. Gua pause dulu ya. Oke. Aku balik lagi guys. Sudah update cuy. Ntar kan ngebug dia. Gua udah curiga bakal ngebug guys. Ya. Dah. Dan lupa lagi nih. Kita gas ya. Coba. Alright. Udah ya. Ngebug guys. Tadi. Dia ngebug kalau lagi streaming doang nih. Kalau gitu mah gue jangan streaming dulu ya. Updatein dulu. Salah gue coy. Sayang coy. Gue udah beli ini. Di promo guys. Wah. Favoritku nih guys. Tapi ini udah patah-patah nih. Waduh. Waduh. Wah lah, coklatnya cair lagi coy. Waduh. Tidak. Walah. Kecewa gua. Cair ini. Ya ampun. Nah coy, coklatnya cair. Baru beli. Ada kritik dan saran nih. Kemarin normal. Nggak tolong guys, coklatnya cair. Story-nya guys. Sebelum itu kita buang mesin dulu ya. Oke. Mulai. Ada api-apinya cuy. Waduh, jauh banget lagi. Jauh loh. Mana nih? Ya udahlah, kesini dulu deh. Nggak ya? Tunggu udah ambil dulu itu teleportnya. Kalau nggak mah lama gue nyampe nya. Keren coy. Konten ini modern banget. Ya lama dah. Mau coy. Akhirnya. Mana nih? Telepon lagi guys. Sebentar deh ya. Halo? Kulkasin.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Kemana ini? Benar kan ini? Itu salah loh. Wah, salah coy. Salah. Wah. Berarti lantai 2. Maklum guys, masih prematur coy. Belum hafal mapnya guys. Oh, alah lantai dasar. Wah, yang ini lama nih. Ikat dulu. Nggak ngerti. Wah, gila. Keren banget, cuy. Apa ini? Robot? Ini hidup. Ini hidup. Apa ini? Oh, biasa cuy. Ya, haha. Ya, nggak bisa beli guys yang ini. Ntar guys, streaming nggak sini? Oh, streaming. Oke. Oh, rumahnya Pak Besar itu. Oke, kita udah buka teleport juga di sini. Alright, gasken. Sorry kah, mulai? Jalan kah? Oh, udah mulai.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Cut Aether, serang dari belakang.
Oh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case,
Boss,
we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist, to seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Terbuka nih cewek. Enak. Ceweknya paling baik, coy. The best female character in Fontaine. Navia, coy.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended.
Tapi kayaknya waktu juga nggak
Didn't
tepat.
really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've
Betul.
heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Susah banget.
Well, would you consider
Apa
some
kalian
more
tertarik coba cara yang agak unik?
unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say,
Abu-abu di mata
questionable
kamu.
legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really...
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Galak amat
I
nih.
can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your
Hah?
drink?
Ya mo. Konta.
Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kinda salty and icky.
Is that so?
Oh ya, kalau gitu Fanta di sini masuk daftar hitam.
Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
Fanta.
If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Wah, orang kaya nih.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Oke, selesai juga. Oh, langsung pindah nih.
Oh, so
Oh,
full.
kenyang.
Paimon can barely float anymore.
Ayo coba pakai tuh kaki.
That would be
Ih, nggak mau. Normal banget.
normal.
Kayak lu.
You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left
Wow.
with...
Habis, Wong.
Hey,
Uangnya
Navia.
habis.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Waduh, dia sedih cuy.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia.
So this is goodbye, huh?
Kalau
Well,
memang kena masalah
if you do
dulu.
encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're
Ayo,
always
kalian
welcome to
prioritas.
contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority.
Oh iya.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya.
Selesai. Woi, langsung quest coy. Pergi ke Armanjo depan Gunung Opera. Wah, jauh nih. Wah, jauh coy. Tunggu aja lah. Cepet.
Time to go.
There aren't many people around
Ya sepi nih,
anymore.
kayak kapal yang kita
Looks
naik
like
itu
that boat we
tapi
took
di
to
air.
Ernias might have been the last one.
Vache.
Nah kan, mulai lagi.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Ya lebih jelas dibanding pas siang hari.
Ugh, that's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache. Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Jebur. Jebur nih. Oh. Tempat apa ini?
Vache. Are you my dear Vache?
Gak kenal.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
Maaf, lu siapa?
I'm... Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost there. I do not know how I came to be like this
hanya ada
either.
ingatan tuh.
I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water.
Apa dia juga korban yang dilarutkan?
And an old
Oh.
I also remember going to many places.
Oh.
I loved adventure, loved exploring
Larut jadi
places
air
of peril.
berubah jadi gini kan.
No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me.
Oke.
And I also loved him equally as
Mengerti
much.
cuy.
But now, we can no longer
Berat,
go
sangat
back.
berat katanya.
The pain of such
Jadi kamu mau aku
parting.
mencarinya? Oh iya,
I
boleh.
never knew how heavy it could be.
Fine.
No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memory. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten
Tangan
beneath
akan
the
aku.
waters.
Ada buku. Berikan sebenarnya.
If you meet Vache,
Kalau kamu ketemu Vache, katakan
Tell him
padanya,
not
tidak
to
perlu
look for
mencariku, minta dia untuk
tell
melangkah
him
maju.
to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
Oh iya.
Perhaps that is so.
Saat air melanda dan
As I
sedang
was
perlahan
submerged
menghilang,
in the
aku melihat
waters.
Vache di atas.
Losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eye, if only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a
Oh.
great warmth. Is that what you call it?
Itu kakak
Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of
berarti ini udah
release.
mati nih.
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell then.
Selamat tinggal, aku
I am glad that you were able to sense my
kalau kamu
presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
siapa Vache itu? Kita akan lihat buktiannya ya. Waduh, ditangkap polisi deh. Apa yang terjadi?
Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of GameMax.
Apa ini?
Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance!
Temennya itu. Musuhnya nih. Serem banget.
I should thank you for lending us your
Wah,
sword
makasih
there,
sudah menjaga
Chlorand.
pedangmu.
But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
Waduh.
I
Apa ini?
believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his
Oh.
trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Oh,
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know?
Apa lagi
How
yang
did you
kamu-
come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to
Oh.
act against me.
Eh,
And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarant. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, She's...
Apa yang terjadi? Apa tuh tadi?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick
Tangnya
of
apa?
time.
Pas pula.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Who?
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
Ah,
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
wow.
Yes, so if you hadn't drunk that cup for me,
Spina
Mati
di
dia.
Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Wah, mau dibunuh.
Really?
Wah, mau dibunuh Navianya. Oh, wah ini ada impost. Siapa penjahatnya nih?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all.
Dia main rapi.
That's
Dia-
when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name.
Masa jadi harus terlibat sih?
Now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't
Ada
we?
udang di balik batu.
You did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important.
Uh-huh.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Woi, berani cari gara-gara.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
Wah, disenyum cuy. Man.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Guys, mantap. Nah, kita ambil dulu nih. Hadiah ini.
Time to go.
ARCHON distance. Kaget. Oh, beda.
Time to go.
Kayak gua nggak mau naik kereta itu aja. Nah, waktu coy. Apa ini? Oh. 105.
Follow the wind.
Lagi. Ini aja dah. Nggak ribet. Ini ada sangkut pautnya nih, mau bergerak ini. Apa ini? Apaan itu? Gerak tuh cuy. Oh, oke. Tarik. Cote. Apa ini? Hah? Apa ini? Gak pernah denger. Ini gua ngapain? What is this? Larborus beans. Kontak, oh. Ah. Hanya di situ.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
Wah,
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious
ini
thus
belum
far.
ada yang mencurigakan.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Kehormatan.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Pergi ke tempat menginap yang disediakan Navia. Oh, ini tempat penginapan, wih. Cakep. Wow. Keren banget apa ya? Apa macam apa ini? Serem amat apa penginapannya? Serem amat apa penginapannya? Oh, serem banget ini.
Into the wind.
Ada orang. Kenapa ini? Bocah.
I follow the wind.
Apa ya? Atas apa ini? Pokoknya nggak bisa ngomong deh. Anjir, tempatnya belok-belok gini. Apa ini? tanpa pengadilan. Guys, gua nggak tahu ini. Beneran dah.
So,
Oh,
this is your
markas
base?
dia.
It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Nonton kecewa. nih.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Oh,
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's
Wah,
worth
gila.
it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right?
Apamu.
How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
Ah,
No, I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this
aku
topic
juga ingin
forever.
mereka bisa mengerti
And
duduk perlu.
as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. The same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
Tewas.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he
Kalau
only
saja
stood
dia
trial
berada di
and was
adilan.
duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself,
Pikiran yang ngehe itu.
but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena.
Ah,
3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
emang aneh.
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in.
Tapi tetap tidak ada
I haven't
petunjuk
found a
apapun
single
selain
new
baca
clue in my
petunjuk
countless
penyelidikan.
reviews of the
Halo
investigation
bang,
records.
halo.
However, I
Tidak,
believe
halo.
that if the murder case is related to
Lagi
those behind
bac-
the disappearances,
Lagi
I must
ngeliatin
know
story nih cuy,
something.
lumayan lama
I
juga nih.
must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must
Wah,
get to the truth.
tidur. Ngantuk,
If
menguap
only he'd been
doang,
more
ngantuk
open
mah enggak
with me
cuy.
when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
Wah,
And now, here I am investigating his death.
yatim piatu cuy dia rupanya.
You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Dan sekarang aku menyelidiki kematiannya. Mencari tahu kebenaran. Kita ada kesamaan.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all,
Oke.
I also will never
Saya juga
believe
tidak
that
akan
Master
pernah percaya
Callus
kalau
murdered
Tega
anyone.
membunuh. Tidak ada yang saya
There are
hormati.
none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if
Bentar,
Callus
kalau
was such
memang
a good
Callus
man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama.
Wah,
It's not something
SCTV.
exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil
SCTV
turn
banget
over a
nih.
new leaf, but
Bukan
they
drama.
also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have
Masih
to find
hidup
the
itu
truth.
beliau,
He
belum
didn't
mati
deserve to have that
tuh.
happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Waduh.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good
Pantas
as
tadi
saying
rasanya
that
canggung
she
ya.
was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah, Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some
Kami
sleep.
akan pastikan
We
kalian
will
bisa
ensure you rest soundly.
Silver.
Whether it be responsibility for Spina di Rosula or Master Callus's death, it all landed on Demoiselle's shoulders so suddenly. This won't do. I must become stronger.
Istirahat.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
Too late.
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Ya. Putnya gitu ya.
Aren't you coming along, Navia?
Capek ya.
Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Ya. Wah, jauh ini. Wah, jauh. Waduh, jauh. Naik tangganya nggak kuat. Ah. Masa harus naik ke atas gitu? Jauh lagi. Teleport aja lah. Dari sini deh. Ngapain dari sini? Inilah.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Let's go.
Time to go.
Tempat apa ini? Kantor Hakim Agung.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Masa nggak kenal sama kami?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Please come in.
Silakan masuk. Wah. Kita ketemu sama orang pangkat gede nih, coy. Silakan masuk katanya. Waduh, ketemu dia lagi, coy. Serem ini.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur
Kami cuma bohong buat.
We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of
Ada bisa
assistance to you.
kubantu.
So you're not mad at us? We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk to?
Cemberut. Jangan marah dong.
Unfortunately,
Sayangnya nggak ada.
I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Apa boleh buat?
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Tidak,
Is that
tidak,
so?
tidak.
All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Oh, tunggu,
We'll
tunggu,
take
tunggu,
our
tunggu,
leave
tunggu.
now.
Ahem.
Udah gitu doang.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel.
Aku mengerti perasaanmu.
Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Wah, marah deh.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell
Pertama kali
him.
gue bisa nangis di
So
game
many
ini.
questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well.
Ya,
In any
bagaimana semua orang
case,
sudah
everyone
tahu.
already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Wait. Boleh ya?
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Tidak apa-apa kok.
Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. you're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
Kamu mau ke sana sama-sama sekarang atau nanti ke sana kesini? Kita pergi sekarang saja, mumpung.
Great, let's go then.
Right. Kok tiba-tiba kesini? Oh. Nah, masalahnya ini mana itu?
Follow the wind.
Apaan ini? Woi, aku ngambil itu.
Time to go.
Oh, jatuh gua. Anjay. Poison. Kota racun, coy. Walah di situ. Tanahnya gimana ya?
Cheer.
Apa ini? Apa ini? Oh. Nah, sekarang mana? Buat lawan kan? Ah. Terus. Oh, itu dia tuh. Dapat tuh. Dapat. Apa ini? Oh, gitu. Maka sifat terdapat dalam bentuk. Nggak ngerti.
Brings a smile to my face.
Nanti tahu sendiri lah. Nah.
Whoa,
Wah, gede
What a
banget.
huge
Apa nih?
ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began after all. It's our main base, our home.
Our home. Apa ini?
Time to go.
Town of Rosula. Para penduduk dia semua. Boleh angkat barang. Wede, halo bang. Halo. Mau lagi kita. Lanjut story chapter 2 coy. Ini udah pertengahan jalan sih. Belum pertengahan jalan sih ini. Di awal banget ini. Bakal makan waktu 3 jam lagi nih guys. Ini ya. Oh. Hampir jatuh.
Time to go.
Jauh banget ya. Jauh. Lalu ada. Ada 2 loh.
One with nature.
Kan ketemu. Akan jadi tempat numpang tidur. Besok libur loh, hari Sabtu. Jadi tempat numpang tidur. Bakal ngantuk sih lo kalau nontonin gameplay gue yang ini.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business
Pasti
at the
tidur
core.
lo.
What brings you
Ngantuk
back
lo
to
kebawaannya
Poisson so
kalau lo
quickly?
nonton biasa mah. Kalau main mah enggak lah.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of
Bagaimana
something
ternyata?
really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right,
Kamu masih ingat
Melus?
kan Melus?
On that
Kalau
night,
itu
it was
juga turun
raining.
hujan.
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Apa mungkin pelakunya orang yang sama?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course.
Tentu saja, bertahun-tahun lalu
Many
ada
years
suatu
ago,
benda bernama
something called
Santo.
synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many
Wah.
pleasant hallucinations.
Arak, cok.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also
Juara apa
mention
aja
that
lo
the
bang,
primordial
17-an?
water could be used to
Kan
produce
main
some
badminton
kind of
doang.
potion?
Biasa main biasa kok. Dari jam 3 sampai jam 5 kok. Sisanya ya nongkrong. Gitu. Nah, gue nggak turnamen. Sisanya ya gue nontonin acara mereka doang, cok. Badminton apa tuh? Ada yang getar-getar gitu. Enggak, bukannya anggota KD berubah jadi air itu bilang juga kalau air laut bisa jadi
Yes,
ramuan.
he did. Considering what we know now,
Yang mungkin
it's
kalau
almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea.
Santo.
If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many
Akan ada
side
efek
effects,
sampingnya.
such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it
Pasti lo
completely,
ikut
you'll
lomba makan
experience
kerupuk.
flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw
Sebagai
Poisson,
pemimpin
my
Poison,
father was
aku
compelled to
bertemu.
put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising
Ini
attitude
memancing
incurred the
para
Sith
penjual
vendor's
cinta,
wrath,
tapi butuh
but no
kepikiran.
matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield.
Wah,
Not only that, Boss became
ini
determined to
game jadi
find the
detektif Conan
mastermind behind
terus.
the synth operation.
Udah sesuai
Put an
dengan
end to the
story-nya
problem
lah,
once and
udah
for
nggak
all.
nyambung sebenarnya sih.
Yes.
Dari mulai
But the
yang
enemy was
Liwe itu
very
tuh yang
cunning.
di Cina itu.
So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff
Dari
and weren't
zaman
privy to the rest of the operation.
Sumeru sih yang
Recognizing
hutan-hutan
that,
itu udah
my
main
father decided
teka-teki.
to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to
Tapi
convince
tapa lah
someone
ya.
to become his informant. The man's name was
Nikmati
Jacques.
gameplay aja.
He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing
Jakal
many
sekalian.
families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Tol,
We
waduh.
raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already
Wah.
dead on the ground.
Enggak pistol. Kenapa bisa gitu?
Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it?
Hanya ada
In
satu
both
orang yang
cases,
bisa jadi
the
pelaku,
culprit
tapi tidak
seemed
punya motif
obvious.
sama sekali.
But neither appeared to have any motive at all.
Wah,
Looking back on it,
apa ini?
though, I
Licin coy.
now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the
Hanya
scene.
itu milik orang yang berubah jadi air. Ah, bisa jadi tuh. Lu main ini game kira-kira udah berapa persen, Bang? Apa udah hampir tamat? Apa masih jauh buat 100%? Maksudnya gimana nih? Ini update-nya step by step, cuy. Jadi nggak 100% lah. Story-nya itu belum full dan bakal lama sekali cuy tamatnya ini game. Ini bisa makan waktu 4 tahun sih buat tamatin nih story-nya. Belum Nathan tahun depan. Sneznaya yang di Rusia 2 tahun kemudian. Karenia 3 tahun kemudian. 4 cerita utamanya dia 4 tahun lah. Butuh 4 tahun lagi buat tamat nih game. Lama banget coy. Belum rilis dia. Memang dari gamenya begini, tiap tahun baru update story utamanya. Tiap tahun udah. Gitu.
Precisely. It's all
baru
thanks to
menyadari
you that I made the
berkatmu.
connection now.
Dulu kami
Back
kira baju
then,
itu hanya
we all
kostum
just thought
Jacques
they were
yang
some
ingin menyamar di
costumes
pesta.
that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But
Tapi
considering
sekarang
it
hampir
now,
bisa dipastikan kalau
it's
baju itu
almost certain
tiga
that they
di tempat
belong to a
kejadian
third
itu.
person at the scene. With
Kita harus
one
memikirkan
extra
ulang
person,
kenapa ada
we'll
2.
also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Tapi mungkin juga pelakunya si orang ketiga.
You're right. We
Kita
still
masih
don't
belum
know
tahu
what
apa yang
happened.
sebenarnya terjadi.
But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally
Gua
headed
kira
towards
ini
the
game
truth.
kayak story yang nggak update, ternyata update terus-terusan. Iya, ini game namanya juga nih game ini kan, apa namanya? Apa ibaratnya ya? Game franchise lah yang bakal berpromosi terus-menerus, cuy. Beda kalau kayak si Red Dead Redemption itu langsung selesai. Dia langsung seri berkelanjutan dia. Kalau ini enggak, guys. Nah, dia step by step ini. Dibilang game triple A sebenarnya ini. Cuma gue bingung juga sih kenapa genrenya bakal berupdate begitu-gitu. Ya, gue taunya sih game ini apa namanya tuh. Lupa gue tuh Zelda ya. Zelda enggak loh. Zelda langsung tamat sih. Zelda langsung tamat setahu gue. Kalau ini belum sih.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was
Dia sangat
infinitely
menyelesaikan
remorseful for
perbuatannya
his
dulu.
past
Kecil kemungkinan dia
actions.
mengakhiri bos tanpa
It's unlikely
peringatan.
that he turned on Boss with zero warning. I think this
Rasa orang ketiga ini
third
adalah kunci dari
person
seluruh
is probably the
peperangannya.
key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this
Tahun depan
will not
baru
please you, demoiselle,
story baru
as
lagi
you're
di
your father's
Amerika,
butler,
Nathan, coy.
I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has
Sudah
lost
tidak
most of
sehebat
its
dulu.
former glory, Poisson has welcomed a
Kami
new
juga telah
time of
diberi
peace,
kesempatan untuk menjalani
and
hidup.
we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to
Anda
follow your
tidak perlu.
father's path. It would be
Anda
both
lebih bijak
wise
jangan
and in
dengan
line
harapan
with
untuk
Boss's
mundur dari
wishes
kasus ini.
to step back.
Nah, gua kira ini game kayak RDR,
If that's indeed what
RR,
he wished for, then he should have
GTA
told
ada.
me
Gua
that
kira kayak
himself.
gitu. Ternyata update terus-terusan. Udah kayak Candy Crush ya. Oh, Candy Crush gitu ya. Gua nggak main situ game. Iya, kayak gitulah intinya. Dia update terus-terusan, coy. Nih, pokoknya tuh dia alurnya dia rilis map baru tiap tahun menjelang ulang tahunnya game dia ini nih. Kan dia ulang tahunnya September 10 September tuh. Nah, dia nanti terus di awal sebelum ulang tahun ntar dia ada 3 story keluar dia bersamaan ntar. Habis itu nggak ada lagi storynya kayak gini nih. Kisaran 10 bulan. Sekitar 10 bulan udah nggak ada lagi story utamanya. Nanti 10 bulan kemudian baru masuk story baru lagi, cuy. Story barunya itu tiap 3 bulan ada dia. Nanti baru 10 bulan lagi. Dia siklusnya kayak gitu kok. Nah, gua level 4 ribuan. Waduh. Ah! Buset.
Was I not the closest person
Serem
to him?
bener.
And yet, I was the one most
Tapi
kept
itu
in the
kan nggak
dark.
triple A, cuy. Nggak ada story-storynya kan. Game emak-emak bang yang di slide-slide itu ya tahu gua. Kopi Candy juga ada tuh. Sama banget Candy Crush gitu. Karena aku orang paling penting.
What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect
Nangis
anything
lagi.
in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And
Masih
Spina di Rosula is barely getting by.
Ada yang berubah.
Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly?
Waduh.
I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that
Dan aku
day,
tidak akan
and
pernah
certainly
terima.
not
Wah,
now.
mau bahas
I
dendam
want
deh.
to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls,
Dan
for
juga
the
demi
victims,
diriku sendiri.
and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the
Karena memang
best
saatnya
moment to
tepat
act.
untuk bergerak. Partner
Your
Anda sedang
partner appears to be quite
sangat bisa
reliable,
dan
and more importantly,
Anda sendiri sudah
demoiselle,
sangat siap.
I
Wah,
think you're also ready to take this on.
Lanjut bang, gua
So
numpang
you
tidur di
do
stream
know
lo.
something else, Malus.
Kalau bacain komen gua terus sampai besok gak selesai nih.
Yes,
Oke,
I do.
siap.
In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already
Dan
knew of the
nikmatin
connection
story-nya ya,
between Synth
gameplaynya.
and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you,
Udah,
demoiselle,
selamat tidur ya.
had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Besok sekolah kayaknya.
What?
Hah? Kan gua nggak konsen.
Boss also didn't tell
Bawa
you
kok
that
beliau.
he had been diagnosed with a
Karena
rare
gua tuh mau
illness.
berpikir bahwa bos hanya
The
bisa
doctors told him that he had,
Apa? Umur
No
dia
more
nggak
than 5
tanam.
years left to
Wah,
live.
cewek lu.
and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
Oh.
5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on
Ketua
to you.
juga yang ini nih.
Knowing all of
Mentorin.
this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you
Sekarang
remain
ini masalah
safe,
lagi bang,
he
yang
would not
kemarin
share
itu
the
kan
evidence with the public.
lanjut.
If something were to
Masih
happen
belum
to
selesai
you,
dia.
then he and all
Cuma
those he
kalau yang ini
told would
kasusnya udah
immediately
bukan yang
expose all
pembunuhan
they
yang
knew
kemarin
about
itu.
Synth and
Dia
the
nih
disappeared
ngelanjutin
victims.
misteri yang
So nobody would be able
karakternya
to put
berubah
us
jadi air itu
scot-free.
tuh.
As
Itu
we've
masih
seen,
berlanjut
Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been
Masih
gone for a
tanda
long
tanya kan itu
time,
kasusnya
the
kenapa?
other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never
Nah,
appeared
jadi
to look
cerita yang
sick to
sekarang
me.
ini mencari
No
kebenaran
father wants their daughter to see the
masalah
bleak
kasus
and
dia
hang.
ini. Dia juga ada
Especially
kasus
someone
nih,
as proud as Boss.
kasus bapaknya, tapi bapaknya juga
To
matinya kayak
him,
gitu tuh,
dying in a
mencair
duel
gitu
and
tuh.
suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front
Kalau
of his
yang
daughter.
kasus membunuh yang pesulap itu mah udah aman coy, udah selesai tuh.
So he
Orangnya udah
chose
cabut.
to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not
Katanya dia salah
understanding
paham.
this
Dikeluarkan
correctly,
oleh bos adalah
Demoiselle.
pedang.
What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved,
Nangis
I'm
lagi.
sure he'd be
Cengeng sih.
extremely proud.
Yang rambut kuning nih.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
Yang ini kasus pencairan yang akuarium jatuh udah selesai ya. Dia memberimu pilihan untuk hidup. Tapi terus itu benar.
I suppose that's true.
Kita mencari
With the
kebenarannya
way
coy
he'd
ya.
set things up, if I had wanted, I could have
Masalah
just
yang
lived out
orang
my
mencari
life
itu ada
without a
sangkut
care in
pautnya
the
sama
world.
bapaknya dia ini nih.
But thankfully,
Bapaknya dia mati
he rarely talked
gara-gara
to me about complex
misteri
matters,
gitu loh.
and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Huh. Melus,
Melus.
what was the key evidence that he shared
Ya
with
lagi
you?
nyari namanya Melus tuh.
It's the location
Oh Melus
where
itu
synth
salah.
is produced.
Lupa gua satu ya tuh. Melus
Essentially,
apa asisten?
It's the enemy's
Nah,
headquarters.
Sinten nih.
When he was
Inuman.
threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found.
Sinte.
But
Jadi
if you
ayahnya
want
nih
to
cewek
use it
dibunuh atau
against the
jadi cair
enemy,
gitu.
You'll still
Dia
have to
bunuh
take several
orang.
things into consideration.
Ya kan?
Why?
Bunuh orang mencair.
Can't we just go
Gimana ya?
storming in?
Tadi dia bilang sih gitu sih.
You mustn't forget
Kan dia
that we're
kasusnya
fighting
tuh
against a
ayahnya tuh di
mysterious and dangerous
kambing hitamkan
organization
ngebunuh
that's been
temennya
in
tuh.
operation for
Nggak tahu
decades.
tuh kebenarannya
There's
benar
no
atau
telling
enggak
what might
gitu.
be lying in wait at their
Dituntut.
headquarters. We also
ini
have no idea what
dihukum
kind
dia.
of evidence we
Hukumnya
may be able to find
duel.
inside.
Duel sama
Nor
orang,
what
tapi
people we
yang
may be
bapaknya
able
ini
to
kalah lawan
capture.
dia, mati jadinya.
But a single visit to their headquarters would be
Salah,
tantamount to a
salah
formal
ngomong
declaration
gua, sorry,
of
sorry.
war. The worst
Temennya
case
tuh
would
mati
be
jadi
that we
cair
leave
gitu.
empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Misteri itu
In
di
that
situ
case,
tuh.
why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been
Kebalikan.
infiltrated.
Balik gua ngomong itu tadi.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now.
Intinya tuh
It
lebih
should be
jelasnya
a lot
bapaknya tuh
easier
dihukum
to
mati
prove the
cuy.
other side's guilt.
Gitu.
Now
Tapi
that
nggak
you
tahu
connected
bapaknya
Synth
mati
with the
bener atau enggak.
disappearances
Karena
case.
You sound like you
jejaknya
put a
hilang
lot
cuy.
of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to
Kata bos
serve
dan
the boss
demoiselle.
and Demoiselle's will.
Emoisle.
I've always been
Saya
willing
selalu
to
bersedia
take on
menanggung
any
risiko
kind
apapun
of
demi Anda.
risk
Tapi
for
karena
your
kemampuan
sake.
saya terbatas, saya hanya bisa
Considering
menyimpan
my
rahasia.
relative
Kenapa
lack
kamu
of ability, I've spent my
Oh,
time
berarti ini
keeping
nyari kebenaran
secrets,
siapa yang bunuh orang
performing
itu.
basic
Yep.
investigations, and waiting for the right time to
Nyari
come.
pelakunya nih coy.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think.
Salah satu
One
yang
conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be
kayaknya
quite
sih Fatu
familiar
ini
with Spina
penyebabnya nih
Dirosula,
guys.
or at least have an
Fatu
informant
ingat tuh ya.
planted here.
Nanti
When I
juga tahu
announced
sih.
orders to the
Cuma kayaknya nggak
organization's
bakal
members
terungkap
on
sih di sini.
Demoiselle's behalf,
Fatu
I used
itu
to deliberately
musuh utama
keep a
di game
few
ini.
people in the dark and
Kayak
observe
Akatsuki
the
deh.
reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative
Saya
tracing,
sudah mempersempit kemungkinan
I've
tersangka
narrowed
yang
the
menjadi 3
suspect
orang.
list down to 3 people.
Ada
The
tersangka
first
banyak nih.
is Florent, Spina Dirosula's senior advisor.
Loren.
Florent?
Yes, surprising,
Ya,
isn't it?
menunjukkan dia salah satu
He
orang yang
was
paling
one of the
dipercaya bos,
people
tapi
boss
itu juga berarti
trusted
dia
the
orang yang sangat
most.
memahami
Which
bos.
also means that he was someone who understood boss really well. Thanks to his position within boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
Paman Marcel. Confrérie itu apa? Oh, dia nanya. Terus yang fitnah kalau bapak ini cewek yang bunuh orang itu siapa bang? Dari orang-orang di sekitar.
It's a guild in Poisson. A boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So,
Saksi
you're
mati
like a
banyak
sister
jadi gitu
organization
maksudnya.
of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers,
Cinta.
they provided us
Cinta
with
itu
plenty of support.
minum arak lah ibaratnya ya di
It's
sini.
a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down
Urus
themselves.
diri sendiri.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating
Polisi.
information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local
Tapi
authorities.
bukan bapak ini cewek pelaku
Since
ya. Jadi
Thierry
kambing
is
hitam
always
doang
in
kan?
the know
Iya,
about our
dijadiin kambing
current
hitam doang.
activities, he could theoretically
Masih belum
always
jelas
plan one
kematiannya
step
kan.
ahead.
Menurut
I see.
dia ini nih yang cewek ini nih,
These
anaknya nih.
are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to
Kalau mau
investigate
menyelidiki
them,
mereka,
please
Anda harus
take
berhati-hati
every
dan jangan sampai
precaution to
mereka
not
sadar.
alert the quarry.
Berdasarkan pengalaman
Judging
musuh
from
kita ini
our
sangat waspada.
experience, the enemy
Sangat
is
licin cuy.
extremely
Licik
cautious.
sekali ini.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great
Karena kita
information.
mencari misterinya
You're
nih.
too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I
sebelum
forget,
saya lupa,
proving
membuktikan
boss's
bos tidak
innocence
bersalah
would
juga
also
berarti
mean clearing
membersihkan
him of
namanya dari
blame in Jacques' death.
Jacques.
After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
Mereka masih
They
tinggal di
still live in
Poison sampai
Poisson
hari ini.
today.
Wah, kita samperin
If
cuy.
it might help, you could also pay them a
Tuh kan?
visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
Terus
A
hubungannya
new
karakter lo
case
sama si
awaits,
cewek
my
itu
dear
apa bang?
partner.
Kan yang di chapter awal itu yang rambut kuning tuh bantu dia nih, si karakter utama kita nih. Nah, dia mau balas budi nih ceritanya nih.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Oke. Nah. Oke, kita jalan lagi coy. Rembet nih game. Main ada balas budi. Ada balas budinya di game ini coy ya. Nggak kayak di Indonesia coy. Nggak di Indonesia. Kalau di dunia nyata lah. Kalau masalah udah selesai ya bodo amat. Gitu. Oh.
It is settled then.
Saya permisi dulu.
Please
Silakan lanjut
excuse me
aja.
and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything
Anda
for us,
sudah mengatur
Malus.
semuanya, Melus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Waduh, anaknya marah. Wah. Waduh.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Mending jangan diganggu
I'm
dulu.
sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
Ah, if it's about
Oh, kalau
that,
soal itu
there's
tidak
no
sebenarnya.
need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mura and support. I understood your
Tulusnya
guilt and
kasih duit
apology
cuy.
to be genuine.
Waduh, nyogok.
But aren't all of those things nothing
Mana
compared
bisa
to the
dibandingin
loss
dengan
of
Pak
Jacques?
Jacques.
I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
Tidak masuk akal.
You don't understand at all.
Lo nggak tahu apa-apa.
I didn't know how to
Songong
face you,
bener.
because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you
Sombong amat.
and to all of us.
Ini bocah, tapi suaranya
I'm sorry.
emak-emak anjir.
I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe
Oh,
that
Pak
my
Jokers
father
itu
could ever
bap-
bring himself to shoot Jacques.
yang bapaknya dituduh bunuh dia ini nih. Oh.
I always knew that my
Iya, iya,
husband's
iya.
money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally.
Orang ada
For the
segalanya.
longest
Ya,
time, he
emang.
thought more
Duit
was
ada segalanya,
everything.
cuy.
So when Mr.
Ada duit tuh nggak
Callis
bakal
came
hidup,
to him
cuy.
with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately.
Benar.
He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
Wah,
They found out about his betrayal?
berkhianat.
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Kalau saya susu pakai air tuba.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Jangan-jangan ada orang yang memerintahkan Jokers untuk menghabisi Kalas.
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's
Oh, jadi
the conclusion I
semuanya
eventually
ini
came
ibu-ibu
to.
yang dibunuh. Iya, terus si bapak cewek itu yang jadi kambing itu. Pantas anaknya kayak ngeselin. Iya, ngeselin anak.
Which is why I'm the one who
Jadi
should
harus
feel
aku yang merasa
guilty.
bersalah. Tuhan
Callis had
orang baik.
always
Dia
taken
mengurus
great
kami
care
semasa
of
hidupnya.
us,
Bahkan
both when
sampai
he was
setelah dia
still
wafat
alive
pun.
and after he passed away. Even if he
Kalau benar
fired the
dia
shot that
menembak
killed my
suamiku, aku
husband,
rasa itu hanya bela
it
diri
was
saja.
likely in self-defense.
Tidak tahu semua yang dia
It is
lakukan.
impossible for me to hate him for
Bagaimana,
what he had
bagaimana
done.
bisa aku
But
membenci?
Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good
Kenapa
man, so
dia
why
dipaksa
did he have
berbuat
to do a
jahat?
bad thing in the end?
Masih nggak tahu, nak, katanya.
Things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a
I bet you
really
did.
good man.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then regardless of whether he left
Apakah
you
dia
a
meninggalkan
parasol,
panah atau pedang keduanya untuk
sword.
tujuan sama dia?
he must have done so to give you a better life.
Betapa kasih payung biar nggak basah.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite
Kamu dan
different
ayahmu
from
beda
your
sifat,
father's,
tapi ketegasan
determination when you
bicara
speak
mirip
is
sekali.
really
Waduh.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Kira gerak lagi karakter gua. Mana nih? Waduh, jauh lagi.
are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine.
Aku tidak baik-baik saja.
Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get...
Nih dia nih. Kita ketemu
Greetings,
suspek
boss.
kedua.
How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into
Ada yang
water
berubah.
right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard.
Ya, aku sudah dengar.
Something that
Kejadian yang sangat
dramatic?
dramatis.
I'm
Pasti.
sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father,
Dan kami
it was
menemukan
raining
baju
outside,
entah punya siapa di
and we
tempat
found some
kejadian.
clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to
Kembali
reopen
dibuka.
his case.
Oh, dia mau buka lagi kasusnya nih.
Can you do me a
Waduh.
favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr.
Jadi dia
Callis
minum-minum
was
dan
feeling
bercanda
pretty
bersama kami di
upbeat that
meja
day.
jamuan.
So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after?
Dia mabuk gitu
My
nembak.
first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the
Waduh.
scene.
Kabur
But
dia.
when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed.
Betul.
The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turning to water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Lah, nggak ada pembelaan dari ayah kah sebelum dieksekusi?
So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun
Buktinya
because he
nggak ada.
seized it from one of the other guys?
Kalau dia kan cuma ngeliat doang, ngeliat dari pas udah kejadian doang.
Then why didn't he share the truth?
Jadi ceritanya tuh dibunuh tuh nggak ada yang tahu, pas udah mati baru dilihat orang lain. Dan bapaknya betul megang pistol. Nah, sinetron SCTV banget tuh.
Faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two.
Jadi sepertinya aku bisa mengerti kenapa dia mau
I think
berduel.
I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything
akan beritahu
once the
kamu.
whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Oh, gue punya teori bang. Apa tuh? Lagi. Dulu ada. Ya, nggak bisa diambil tuh. Mana nih? Ya balik lagi ya. Balik lagi deh. Cepat. Nah, ini kita mau kemana nih? Pengadilan lagi kah?
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia?
Polisi, Cik.
I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay.
Aku masih anggota
Hey,
Caramu
I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a
Ya,
little bit
tidak ada
of truth
benarnya
in
sama
that?
sekali. Kalau keadaan sedang
Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me.
Aku baca dulu ya.
Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
Oke. Oke, itu kan katanya 2 tembakan, mungkin 1 tembakan dari orang yang membunuh suami. Nah, dia tadi udah bilang, tembakan pertama itu nggak kena sama sekali, tembakan kedua baru kena. Nah, pas banget dia megang pistol, makanya ada orang-orang ya. Tapi masalahnya tembakan pertama itu nggak kena sama sekali katanya.
Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way.
Gak ada tembakan, kalau tembakan pertama dia kan 2 kali tembak tuh, tembakan kedua baru kena tuh, langsung mati di tempat.
Anyway, enough chit
Oh, dia
chat.
gajinya gede di sini, nyaman
Friends of
katanya.
yours, you here for some formal business?
Apa ini?
Ah, yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera
Apa yang
House
terjadi
made
gedung
us
kami
realize that Lenny's case
ada mungkin kasus
and
ini
my
dan
father's
ayahku ada hubungannya.
may be
Kami
related.
sedang coba selidiki
We're trying to
kembali kasus lama.
reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Lina itu yang sulap merah itu
I
tuh.
get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water,
Waduh,
right?
ribet juga. Makanya nih.
Also
Belum
flabbergasted when I
terungkap
first
kayak
heard it.
kasusnya nih.
If
Masih
you want to
tanda
go through the
tanya.
original files from your father's case, I can
Kayaknya
help you look
kelihatannya
for them.
nanti deh pas akhir-akhir
That'd
ini.
be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a
Gardem-
horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha
Menurut
serial
sudut pandang
numbers
lo
and
ada orang yang
send
dicurigai
them
gak
after
sama lo
me.
bang? Nggak ada, masih belum tahu gue.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha
Kalau
is very
kita bisa
different
lihat
from controlling
orang yang
them.
masih hidup baru
If I
tahu.
had to
Ini
make
kan
an analogy,
omongan mereka
when you
doang
order a
tuh.
dish, the chef will
Don't
make
trust
it for you.
anymore. Kalau
You
kata
can
orang mah.
ask the chef to cook, but not to
Jadi
massage
kita
your
cari data
shoulders
dulu
and carry
ibaratnya
your
kan
baggage.
diceritainnya.
If you try to
Kumpulin
make
data,
unreasonable
baru
demands, the
bisa
chef
cari
will just think
kesimpulannya,
you're out of
cuy.
your mind and ignore you
Bang, gue
completely.
masih belum tahu
The same
orangnya
goes
siapa.
for me
Yang gue
and
tahu
my
sih Fatui,
Gardamex.
cuy.
Removing
Oke,
the
yang gue
serial
bilang tuh
number is
Fatui
also
itu
not as easy as you might think.
Akatsuki di Naruto
There
lah
are a lot
ibaratnya tuh.
of complex steps to
Udah,
it, and
Fatui
it's
tuh.
almost impossible to keep it a secret.
Masih belum.
So I can promise
Kayaknya
you,
gue sih curiga
those mecha
dari
were definitely private
ulah
units.
mereka tuh buat incer si
Certainly
dewa
not cheap.
air di sini
So,
nih. Dewa
whoever their
ARCHON di
owner
sini.
is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you
Tujuan
mention
utamanya
it, though,
pasti itu.
being in the synth business would definitely
Ibaratnya
be profitable
ARCHON
enough to
itu
afford this.
Jinchurikinya di Naruto tuh.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, kamu jelas aman, Terry. Wah. Waktu itu kayak klan villain di
Thank you
ini
for the
game
vote
ya.
of confidence, Navia. Jokes
Ya betul.
aside,
Dia tuh villain
I'd
utama
like
di
to
sini.
wish you
Itu
all the
klan,
best with your
itu nama klan,
investigation.
organisasi.
I'll be staying in the city for a little while,
Fatui,
so
ya.
just come
Betul,
find me
namanya
if you
Fatui.
need any support from the guards.
Harbinger itu pemimpinnya. Ada 10 orang deh. Naruto banget ya. Aduh, hubungi Marcel. Mana Marcel? Jauh kah? Oh, dekat. Oke, kita turun dulu, coy. Ah, lama turun aja lah. Tunggu. Aman, coy. Jadi ini bisa dipegang ya? Nggak bisa. Tembus. Ini cari siapa? Marcel. Oh, ini cewek. Oh ya, cewek. Loh, pindah posisi.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know?
Nah
You
saja
can
Navi
just
yang cari.
say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Cari dulu orangnya. Siapa ini Marcel ini? Marcel
Navia,
yang
hello.
order on
Sorry
defense
to
kah?
keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel.
Uncle.
There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were
Oh,
at the
pas di
opera
gedung
house
opera itu
too?
ada kamu juga.
That's right.
Betul,
I
aku
went there with
nonton
Navia to see the
pertunjukan
magic
sulap.
show.
Siapa sangka
Who
malah
knew
jadi
it would
pembunuh
turn into a
misterius.
whole
Wah,
murder
oh,
mystery.
dia ikut nonton, cuy.
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
Oh, dia juga
To
lihat.
beat the Hydro
Bisa
Archon at
mengalahkan.
her own game on her own turf,
Di
I
kandangnya
can already
pula. Aku
imagine
sudah bisa
everyone in
orang
Fontaine
akan terus.
discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Waduh, dipermalukan, cuy.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's
Orang di
just
sini
how
suka drama dan
Fontaine is as a
pertunjukan
nation.
heboh, katanya.
Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also
Jadi
noticed that
waktu
other
manusia
thing,
itu
right?
bisa larut jadi
The fact
air.
that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly.
Betul, memang belum
I
ada
still
bukti
don't
kuat,
have
tapi
much
aku bisa
solid
merasakan
proof,
pihak
but
lawan
I
sudah
can
mulai
sense
bergerak.
that the other
Wah,
side has already begun to
mereka
act.
beraksi, cuy.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Arrhenius by some
Ada
unnumbered
tanpa nomor
Gardamex.
seri di
And
Arenas.
there was also
Terus
an
aku
attempt
juga
to get me
dijebak
to
untuk
drink
minum
water from
air
the
lautan
primordial sea.
primordial.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past.
Akan segera menjadi
But
cerita
rest
masa lalu.
assured,
Tapi
Navi,
tenang aja, Navi.
Poisson
Poison
will
selamanya
always
akan
remain
menjadi
a safe
tempat
haven for you.
Kalau
If you're
takut
scared,
pulang aja.
you can always return
Enak
there.
aja.
If
Kasus
anyone
belum
dares to
selesai.
lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Nama nih cewek rambut
Thank
putih
you,
siapa bang?
Uncle
Navia
Marcel.
cuy. Ada nama
But
itu.
I don't intend to go into
Navia.
hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's
Gampang tuh
hot.
Navia.
Do you have any new thoughts
Bukan
on my
mafia
father's
ya.
case?
Navia.
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that bank.
Oh iya, pada ada
So I was
namanya
out
kayak
and
orang
about the whole time
tolil
making
gua.
sure
Wah,
things were
ada.
running smoothly. I
Ada
didn't even have the
namanya.
time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the
Biar
sound
enak
of a gunshot.
masing-masing
And the
bacanya.
rest was
Marcel
history.
tuh yang lagi ngomong gitu.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are
Ih,
any
subur
valuable
loh
clues
ini.
elsewhere.
Sounds good.
Tuhnya
Just let me know
tekad-tekad.
if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and
Orang
support.
kaya cuy ini.
I'll
Jason.
spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Waduh, ini masih ngomong-ngomong kah? Oke, ini urutkan petunjuk bersama Navia. Mana nih? Ke atas? Ke atas coy. Robotnya gerak coy. Polisinya robot coy. Mau deh. Nggak bisa diem deh. Oke, jadi nyari
We
kesimpulannya di sini.
talked to all three suspects, purely
Dan
based
dari
on their
percakapannya-
conversations with me.
Ini banyak nih. Tapi masih tanda tanya nih kayaknya. Masih satu lagi nih. Oke,
None of them sounded
nggak ada satu pun yang
particularly
mencurigakan tuh
suspicious.
kan?
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to
Aduh, air
find.
lupa bawa lagi gua. Ntar minum lah.
But where should we start?
Motif Jacques. Oke.
Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that
Coba
Callus
kebetulan saja
probably
ada di
ended up
sama
with the gun
Callus. Karena
because of
keadaan lumayan masuk akal.
circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques'
Padahal
family
kalau
members,
sebelum berangkat
he
dari rumah
already
dia
told
sudah
them that
sadar
he had been
kalau ketahuan
discovered
dan tidak
and that
punya
he had
pilihan.
no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he
Wah,
probably
diperintah
received
tuh.
an order from the
Tuh, ya,
synth boss to kill my
nyawa
father.
diri.
Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh, jadi tembakan pertama dari yang mati, yang ditembaknya itu rupanya. Kalau aku jadi Jacques, aku tidak akan menembak.
Oh? And why is that?
Memang kalau nurut dijamin selamat. Nah,
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just
eksekutor dan
being
kalau
used as a
tugas
tool
sudah
for
terlaksana
murder.
otomatis dia
And
sudah
once he
tidak.
had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his
Jadi
perspective
tembakan pertama itu
would be to turn his
rencananya
back on the
sebenarnya si
order
Jacques itu
and
tuh
seek
yang mati itu.
protection from my father.
Ada orang ketiga nih. Nah, orang ketiga ini siapa
Makes
nih?
sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the GameMax has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that
Ya,
our
memang
enemy
jelas
has
panik
become
setelah
more
rasa.
antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think
Apa
he
mungkin
knew
dia sudah
even
tahu
then that
kalau
we'd
kita
follow
bakal
this
terus
lead to
menelusuri
the end?
petunjuk ini?
Given everything that's
Kalau
happened
lagi
since,
kejadian sih bisa jadi
it's
katanya.
quite possible. But who
Tapi
among
siapa
the
di antara
three
ketiga tersangka yang
suspects
bisa
would
menggunakan
have the
garden
ability
box
to
yang
control privately
Siapa
owned
lagi?
GameMax?
Loh, siapa nih? Aku nggak tahu. Thierry.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the GameMax for personal use.
But
Tapi kok dia tidak
didn't
bohong
feel
ke
like he
cerita
was
soal
lying
robot
when
itu
he was
tadi.
talking to us
Ya
about
kalau
the
memang
mecha.
robotnya dia orang,
I also don't think he'd be able to
kalau
keep
tidak
that
ada yang
kind of
tahu.
tampering
Wah,
under
berarti bukan dia
wraps.
katanya.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
Ya sih, kalau memang dioprek bukti gampang, tinggal cek di gudang. Oh, itu milih-milih ngaruh ke arah ceritanya nggak bang? Cuma beda dialognya doang. Nanti juga ceritanya tetap aja satu arah doang.
If the mecha were taken from the
Kan
guards,
kalau
it should
memang
be
diambil
pretty
dari
easy
guard
to
ya
find
harusnya
out
gampang
when
buat
and
tahu
how
gitu.
that happened.
Nah, tuh kan udah ubah lagi orang lain gitu. Tuh, dia berubah lagi tuh. Nah, kita pilih lagi nih siapa nih? Marcel berarti.
Uncle Marcel?
Sering kerja bareng juga.
My father
Mungkin dia
did
kena
really
job
trust
dari
him.
sana ya.
And they worked together
Dia
on a
tetap
large number of projects.
begini lagi dia.
Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the confrérie, he could
Dia bisa
also afford a
memang.
large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me
Aku
to
sudah kenal
imagine,
sama
though.
sejak masih
After all,
balita.
Uncle
kan.
Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't
Bukannya
this mean he
artinya
has
dia
been
sudah
spending a
buang banyak
whole
mora
lot
dan
of mora
tenaga untuk
and
melawan
energy
synth.
to fight
Bisnisnya
his
sendiri.
own synth
Beda
business?
lagi, bukan dia pelakunya. Satu lagi.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father,
Nah,
and thus had the best
tuh kan
chance
dia
of learning
satu
about
arah
his
jadi.
dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too
Oh,
broke
dia
to
terlalu
afford a mecha
buat
army?
punya. Wah, nggak ada jawabannya dong.
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
Aku rasa. Aduh, paling males gue itu. Tidak relevan. Tidak relevan juga, anjir.
You know, if
Ya,
you
kalau kamu
think
bertanya
everything
lebih-
through, Uncle Marcel
Emang yang
is
paling
indeed the
mencurigakan
most
dari
suspicious of
semua.
them all.
Could we be missing
Apa
other
mungkin kita
suspects?
ada lewat kantor tersangka lain? Malus tidak tahu manusia bisa diubah jadi air pas dia selidiki 3 orang ini kan? Ah kan? Kalau story yang ini kira-kira kapan selesainya bang? Lama ini.
Malus has
3
always
jam
been
ada
very
ini.
reliable, and
Iya
his
udah
judgment of
sejam
others'
52 menit.
trustworthiness has been
Ya 2
fair
jam lagi
and
kali.
well considered. When he laid out
2
his
jam
case
lagi
for the
ini.
three, the rationale
Ngantuk
he
dah.
gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and
Ini
foresight.
cerita panjang cuy. Konten ini
Even if
panjang
I
banget.
don't want to believe
Teka-teki
it,
sih.
I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Lagi pula dia seorang yang sangat dekat denganmu.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Kita datang ke markas produksi, pabriknya cuy ya.
Yes, Malus did say that
Kalau
charging
langsung
straight in
terobos
there
masuk
would be
akal.
extremely
Tapi kita
risky.
tidak punya
But we don't have any other options right now.
punya hak. Kita pemeran utama di sini.
We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are.
Kalau di sini.
I've been looking for
Gue cari lu dari tadi katanya. Apa nih?
Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got
Ada
another
kabar
trial
dari-
on our hands.
Wasn't
Ada
that
pengadilan
place
lagi?
built
Oh.
specifically for holding
Oke tempat itu
trials?
memang di bawah.
What's so newsworthy about
Apa yang
this
naik
one?
dari pengadilan baru ini?
I know.
Wah
I
dia sangkut
know.
paut sama dia
But
nih.
they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Patui coy. Nah kan. Aku tahu. Tapi mereka bilangnya diadili adalah. Wah. Pelakunya dia coy. Navia yang jadi kambing hitam siapa namanya bang? Siapa ya? Lupa gua tadi namanya tuh. Lupa. Gua nanti juga ketemu lagi teksnya. Wah, ini tuh kan Fatui kan jatuh-jatuhnya.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know
Bukan coba.
Maybe even a little too
Kan
well.
ketemu nih.
Well,
Wah, dia
he's been
dituduh sebagai
accused of
pelaku
being
sebelum
the
dibalik
true
rentetan
culprit
kasus orang
behind the
hilang. Kacau
serial
banget kan
disappearances
katanya.
case. It's a...
Wait,
Tunggu,
how?
apa?
None
Tidak
of
ada
our
satu pun yang
investigations have
ada
had
hubungannya
anything
dengan
to
dia.
do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news
Nah,
right away.
kan Fatui kan
If the
sangkut
charge
pautnya.
against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the
Tapi tidak
guards to
mungkin
support
kita
any
tahu.
of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's
Oh,
name.
namanya Kalas coy, bapaknya. Nama bapaknya Calas coy ya.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Kan gue curiga Fatui juga kan. Tapi saja.
Huh? Split up?
Apa maksudmu?
What do you mean?
Kamu pergi ke Arines dan aku selidiki tempat itu.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a
Karena
trial
ini ada
about
persidangan
the
mengenai
serial
rentetan kasus
disappearances
hilang,
case,
pelakunya akan
the
fokus pada
culprit's
Arines.
attention will be focused
Dan
on
markasnya pun
Arrhenius.
kosong.
Leaving his
Nah,
home, you're right. This
itu
is
benar.
our best
Ini kesempatan bagus.
opportunity.
Ayo kita bergerak.
Alright then,
Apa kamu ngulur
let's
waktu?
do this.
Gedung.
I'll stall them at the opera house
Mengancam
and
dia
charge
sebagai
Marcel
pelaku
as the true
sebenarnya.
culprit.
Waduh. Dituduh-tuduh nih.
I won't have any
Tapi
chance of
tidak akan
making that
bertahan
charge
lama
stick
kalau
though,
kita tidak.
unless we find more evidence.
Dan
It'll be
berikan
up to
bukti
you to
padaku.
make it back in time and hand
Don't
the
worry,
decisive
kata
evidence to me.
We'll help you.
Kami akan bakal
Just like
bantu
you
kamu
helped
sama
us in
kayak
Linda's
kamu
trial.
bantu kami di sedang lima.
Mademoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Wah,
Lou,
asistennya nih.
Silver, when did you two get here?
We heard that
Katanya
you'll
akan
be
segera
leaving
meninggalkan Poison
Poisson
dan
and
kami
figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope
kami
that
berharap Anda bisa
your
lebih percaya diri
confidence
dengan
will be
keberadaan kami
bolstered
berdua
with
di
the
sisi
two of
Anda.
us by your
Oh,
side.
ada.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the
Oke,
opera house.
kita menjelajah sekarang. Oke. Tuh, teleport ya? Oke.
Now that Navia has set out for
Tapi sudah
Arrhenius,
kita
we
juga
should
berangkat
also
yuk.
get going.
Yo, ini kemana nih
The
kita?
location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
What is this?
Hey,
There is no escape!
Bentar coy. Apa ini? Biasa ini awal dia menguji kelembapan dia, tapi pada akhirnya hanya mendeteksi. Aha, coba ya kita. Kamu? Apa ini? Seperti tentu akan ada hal yang di dan terus menerus memberikan. Oh, sama kayak dendro itu ya. Ya. Apa kamu tidak berhasil menemukannya? Hydro bisa tumbuh. Loh. Itu saja? Oh. Ini loh.
let's move out.
Nah, kan? Udah kuduga, guys. Oke lah, nanti dilanjutin lagi dah, nanti dah. Ke belakang guys ya itu. Oh, ini ada tempat mancing nih coy. Lumayan. Baru nih kayaknya. Aduh, mau lagi deh. Alah. Bentar guys. Nah, ini nih. Ntar kita tanya-tanya orang dulu. Pantas sih ukurannya gede, setiap dialog aja ada voice line ya. Yang ini nggak ada. Kalau yang story ada pasti. Apa ini? Apa ini? Oke. Oke, mancingnya nanti aja lah ya. Ntar kita buka dulu resepnya deh. Mana tadi? Ada nih. Oke. Kita lanjut story aja ya. Kelamaan yang ada. Yang explore mah gua nggak streaming deh. Karena gue bakal banyak Google ntar. Maka waktu lama pasti.
According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Wow. Bisa berenang, coy. What is this? Lancarkan fontaine water blast yang tajam dan panjang. Saat ditahan, kamu akan gunakan momen untuk memotong titik lemah untuk menghancurkannya. Wah, untuk apalah ini gua nggak ngerti nih. Aha. Lawan. Apa ini? Aku nggak ngerti, coy. Ini yang jahat, ini yang baik gitu. Mati. Oh, dia mati, coy. Oh, gitu. Bisa berenang aja. Udah dulu, Bang. Mau keluar aja. Mau keluar diajak ngopi. Mungkin kalau pulang agak malaman lu masih live, gue mampir, Bang. Sorry, nggak bisa dulu sampai akhir, Bang. Nggak apa-apa. It's okay. Baik, ini baik, coy. Nggak bisa. Mana sih nyelamnya? Oke deh, ya thank you. Oh, itu kah? Tidak ada dia. Mana isinya? Oh, yang ini. Ya. Oke, kalau udah nge-live, gue nonton replaynya. Oke. Ngisi dong. Wih, ngisi coy. Hehehe. Baru nih. Kekuatan hidupnya yang kuat dari fontaine. Beberapa titik akan memanjangkan. Oke. Hah? Gimana? Alah, ya, kok belum mulai?
Finally found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Ya. Ya.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia.
Waduh, dia accept.
Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Klevv, right?
Waduh.
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand?
tahu diri.
You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the ARCHON wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on?
Hah? Ada apa ini?
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Ah, sudah aku bilang Bracket tidak mungkin Fatui Harbinger.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness.
Ini sudah kedua kalinya kamu. Aku hanya
But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Waduh.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default. Correct?
What?
Oh. A young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway. So I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Marcel!
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
What?
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Tidak perlu konsul. Apa aku benar?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea. Something's not right. Let me think for a little while longer. The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin. This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Calus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Calus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Calus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone?
Aduh, silau.
Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Oke. Nah, yang bicara. Loh. Ya, di mana ini gua? Apa ini? Udah. Ini aja.
I see everything.
Apa ini? Masih yang dibuat untuk menambah kekurangan. Yang terakhir lebih. Berapa titik lah? Dipotong 10 ya. Tapi
Shine down.
The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Udah, cakep banget.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Nggak bisa sih. Aneh. Masih? Oh. Oh gitu.
surprising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go. Hey!
Lagi deh. Yang di bawah. Oh, sweet.
Into the wind.
Oh,
there is no escape.
Yeah. Allow me.
Time to go.
I see everything.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Disensor anjir. Lagi tuh. Wah, ini yang gede lagi.
Hey.
Wah, ini yang gede, Cok.
Let's move out.
Ini kalah terhadap air.
Illusion shattered. One with nature. There is no escape. Follow the wind.
Oh.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia. What's all this? Aw, pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That...
Okay.
Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super obvious. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to it. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. Ah, you mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Apa ini?
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth, and that special water is the main ingredient! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human! Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Gila, banyak banget.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him. Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But... yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either. You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure. Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? What Paimon see? Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now. So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. The final name she decided on was Marcel.
Wow.
Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son? Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Terkuak.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
Berapa kali kamu mau mengganggu persidangan?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Ada kesal ya. Yakin mereka membuatku yakin mereka sudah. Kamu bilang kamu tidak kenal nama Fasar ini?
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Karena sebenarnya Marcel, kamu adalah Fasar.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair. We already know everything.
Ya ngomong lah.
After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you.
Nah, harap kamu bisa menghidupkan kembali dirinya.
You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? pay attention to you.
Perhatikan kalian.
What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow! So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. A promise. We made a promise. Vignier. Vignier. Please, Vignier. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Waduh, ngambek deh. Udah seperti ini, keputusan akhirnya juga dengan penahanan.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result.
Berpetualangan di bawah air.
Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vache's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vache. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vache is guilty.
Guards! Take Vache away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves! Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. It's finally over. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending.
Apa ini bocah? Wah, tidak bisa menarik. Penjahatnya sudah ditangkap, kalian ditegakkan.
Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Ada yang salah dengan mesin peradilanmu.
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Tapi sidang ini kan soal kasus.
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Waduh, marah dia.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Waduh, macem-macem dia sama foto ini. Bahaya.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Ya, kalau sampai.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Verena mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
Kasihan tuh ini.
After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Kasihan.
Oh, Monsieur Nervalet! That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
Coba kita cek, ada vision nggak sih? Nggak ada. Ada vision? Huh?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
What a joke. Dharma.
Into the wind.
Yang musik ini, yang keroknya. Ngomong-ngomong, orang duduk di mana? Oh.
Time to go.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Oh, ada dia.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oke. Panjang ceritanya, bener kan? Herbir.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Sebelum aku minum air laut tuh.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You look a lot older than I remember. How long?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vigniere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vigniere's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Yeah! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vigniere. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache?
Vache.
Vache! Vache! Vache!
Drown.
Maksudnya tuh hilangin jiwanya, mati dong.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf.
It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great! Paimon also thought Clarend wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him, to this day. That includes me.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now. This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be... Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the Opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but Pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there? Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right?
Ah, kebenarannya nih.
Paimon's really sorry, Navia, but...
What are you saying, Paimon? I don't think I get it.
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
Hey, Traveler! Why did you mess with Paimon again?
Ngobrol sama karakter utama. Mana? Oh. Pintu masuk yang tadi kayaknya. Ah, iya. Ini. Liao.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see.
Ada yang bisa bantu.
Then is there something that I can help you with?
Mungkin.
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
Silakan, tentunya aku akan dengan senang hati membantu orang yang dalam. Tentang air.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Yang nggak tahu juga.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Lenny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Baru diomongin.
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long...
So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
Kalau ternyata dia atas dasar pelanggaran yang tidak. Oh.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Satu lagi. Saudaranya.
Your sibling?
Saudara?
Another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memornia.
Tanya, dia ini siapa sebenarnya?
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right. You point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Baterainya habis ya? Oh, selesai juga. Ah. Ah. Ya ada. Oh enggak. Orangnya udah hilang.
Shine down!
Oh, seru.
A fateful offering.
Oke. Selesai. Lebih cepat dari yang kukira ya. Oke lah, sampai sini dulu sepertinya coy. Tapi tunggu sebentar. Ada. Ini gua selesaikan dulu dah nih quest-questnya ya. Nanti akan lanjut lagi. Lam, siapa ini? Wih, banyak pakainya keren banget. Halo. Ah. Kita kasih tanda ini untuk mancing. Oke lah, sampai sini guys. Thank you coy, sudah temenin aku. Yang udah nonton replaynya, thank you ya. Saja dari saya, goodbye semua. Oke, itu saja deh dari saya. Thank you.